to set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
We got ourselves a Russian directing a American movie starring Zazie Beetz, which is still one of the greatest names of all time. You know her, I know her as Domino, right? Zazie really, I believe, just jumped onto the scene in that movie, in that role, with that back and forth that she has with Ryan Reynolds about if luck is a superpower. It's a clippable moment. It's all over TikTok. But we have here, let me get some of this coffee. And I got a cough. Give me 1 second. Now that we cleared the throat, I've just performed 9 or 6 things you're not supposed to do when you're recording or broadcasting. But this is my show, and if you're new here, welcome. This is the AKAPAD Film Buff podcast. We're about 1,200 episodes deep. We shoot for 2 drops a day. Right now, we have a couple themes running. We're going to be launching a female assassin movie theme series. We are running, and if you're not familiar with that, it would be like La Femme Nikita. I'm calling it La Femme Assassin film series because that genre really doesn't have a name, but we named it here because we put in the work. We have a baseball series. We have an upcoming Woody Allen series. We have a continuing Ridley Scott series. We're wrapping up a Kevin Reynolds, you know him, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, one of the great summertime blockbusters of all time, starring the great Kevin Costner, Fandango, Count of Monte Cristo. We do animation on the weekends. We do documentaries at night. All of this is just getting realigned recently for another run. By another run, it's just a bunch of pre-recorded content that we're lucky enough to schedule so we can stay on top of all of these new releases. Keep in mind, everything I just told you is to stay on top of new releases because we want to promote the old, we want to discuss the old to have a complete view of everything new and vice versa. You can't appreciate the new without appreciating everything that came before it. So our task here, just to be a little bit of a completist mindset, to develop a worldview for you, the listener, me, the discussioner, reviewer. Well, it's a lot of work, and we put that work in every single day. But guys, Philadelphia, PA, that's where I'm coming from. I know that's what you were waiting for. Wow, we're 3 minutes in. Gotta talk about this movie. 2026, Zazie Beetz. So I became aware of this movie through a couple clips that I saw between Instagram and TikTok. This movie just looked like it was Zazie running around killing people. And she's invincible, and, you know, we have slow motion, well shot. Everything seemed to be like in the house, in the mansion. And I'm just like, all right, it's just like, what are we doing here? So the movie starts. It's rainy. She's running away from someone with her sister. She kills someone. She ends up in prison. And then essentially almost like back to where she started. She, off camera, disposes of a maid that is lined up for an interview in this one place. She assumes that person's identity. And then as soon as she enters the walls of this house, we know something is off. She goes to bed. It starts to happen. But she's ready and she's prepared for all of this. And she knows what her sister fell into and entered into. So she has trained for it. Now, is her training, is this like a true martial arts movie? Yes. Is she doing ridiculous things and having ridiculous like power sets, meaning she can wrestle off a guy if he bear hugs her? Yes. Do we take this as seriously as something like Kill Bill or Atomic Blonde? Yes. I believe that the level of fantasy in the action and just the way it's just appropriately over the top, which is a fine line to walk to, aka Patters. It's tough. Without the powers that our characters have inside the Matrix, like Trinity, or Jedi powers, it's hard to sometimes digest a woman fighter versus a room of men. It just is, always is. I feel like a little bit of the ballerina, the John Wick spinoff, dances around that. I will always reference Scarlett Joe in Iron Man 2 and some of the Avenger movies. And and even Avengers, where they found a way to make her fighting system, which was momentum based. It's believable. Like ScarJo in that second Iron Man movie is maybe as far as some of it can go. But we have a director here, A.K. Patterson. We have a director that co-wrote but directed. His name is Krill. I don't even know why I'm trying to pronounce his name. Krill Sako Tov. Co-writer, director. This guy put together something cool. What we have here is really a race against a ritual to resurrect Satan, because everything's got to be a little Epstein now, right? We got to kidnap children. We have to traffic the children. We have to sacrifice the children. For a lot of Hollywood movies, it's an odd theme that is prevalent, and it just seems like it died off a little bit in the early 80s, but it really cranked up in the modern day. We have fantastic cinematography by Isaac Berman, music by Carlos Rafael Rivera. This is a complete movie. It's a complete experience. Full recommendation. If you like a character that isn't supposed to be a martial arts star, you will love this movie. It is in kin to Kill Bill. You kind of want to say someone watched Kill Bill and they said to themselves, I could put a story like this type of story around this type of action, because similar to Kill Bill, the fighting escalates as the quest escalates, meaning like we're kind of going from room to room, from floor to floor. We saw some of that recently, with not Catch Me If You Can too. I want to say Catch Me If You Can too. I'm almost saying There Will Be Blood too, but it's Ready or Not to. So the plotting and the flow of the story in Ready or Not to echoes a lot of what we get here in They Will Kill You. And who is they? Well, Heather Graham is one of them. We have Patricia Arquette, who recently kind of comes off as a whack job in some interviews. I just watched her too in Lost Highway. Patricia Arquette is really good in this. Heather Graham is really good. Tom Felton is really good. But we get this moment, and I'm going to spoil it for you because I feel like we got to sell this movie. We get this moment at the end of this movie where the ritual is about to happen. Our girl, Zazie Beetz, who just looks, I mean, she's in like a baby tee in her underwear, like doing some of the fighting. And it's just hot. That's exactly what they were going for. I'm sure at one time when you did that, when you were Ridley Scott and Sigourney Weaver at the end of the movie Alien, you're thinking of conversation. You're thinking that you're giving the audience a part of the movie that they're not going to be able to stop talking about. But here, they do the same thing that Scott and Sigourney Weaver did at the end of Alien. They do it in the beginning of this movie. And you know the conversation is, this is going to get clipped. Our girl is going to, we're doing a level of self-promotion. This is going to promote itself. It's a low-effort thing. Did that happen? Did not. It's been on HBO Max for a week. I haven't seen much traction about that, but I like a lot of the visuals that just seem to be like a little bit of a contrast, where there's like even that big fight with Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, it's not even Tom Cruise. We can go back to Arnold Schwarzenegger, True Lies. Sorry, A.K. Powers, the film buff is all over the place. In True Lies, where we get this like epic battle inside of a bathroom, and then it ends with that joke with the guy walking through the door, standing there, and that tile just crumbles off the wall. Amazing timing, Buster Keaton level timing there. the contrast is always interesting. Here, they're using Zazie as a little bit sex object killing machine, but she's got to rescue her sister, and she's against the forces of evil. In the beginning, she destroys everyone. They come back to life. They heal. This is great when it comes to, again, breaking down the story, breaking down the power sets. It seems like from very early on, she has too much stacked against her. She's not going to be able to make it out. We get to the very end of the movie after we learn all of the rules. Again, great layout here. Great putting everything in front of you when it comes to writing and the blueprinting of this movie. They have to do the ritual. Her sister is about to get sacrificed. She may get sacrificed. We learn about the ritual. We get gotcha at the end, but there's a pig's head. And they do this one trick where it's like the shadow of Satan, the shadow of the devil. We see him through this window, and he essentially like walks out of the window, but he's a shadow, and he kind of like flows, but he's on the wall and on the floor, like very Looney Tunes. Like if you imagine how in Looney Tunes how like the shadows stretch and kind of become characters, and then he gets inside the pig's head, and the pig's head speaks, and the animatronics and the realism of the pig's head, and just the rules with how they write the name on the pig's head, and that's like pretty much like the doorway, like that's the doorway for Satan to like take their soul, essentially. AKAPADers, this movie has an arc, it has a through line. We root for our girl. Visually, it is there. It's a ton of fun. It's sexy. It's a great compliment to Kill Bill. You can watch Kill Bill Part 1, Part 2, watch this, and you get effects. And I like seeing films like this that put female characters in wild, extreme situations that are not always explainable, meaning they're within the fantastic. I'm just drawn to that. I think another time, like this movie would have really done well. I think if this movie was released 20 years ago, it would have been like shockwaves. Would have probably made $110 million. I think this movie costs it costs under 20. Yeah, it costs $20 million, gross 19. I'm hoping that this film finds something on stream, and I feel like I'm saying that time and time again. Can't recommend it enough. It's a movie I want to watch a few more times, and to also watch it to fully understand the rules and the lore around all of this. I think this is a great party movie too. Like if you're having people over, like put this movie on. Zazie is, I'm a little bit surprised with her trajectory because she really became a part of the scene in Deadpool 2, but again, that's a Josh Brolin, Ryan Reynolds. She's number 3 in that. But the Joker, and then there's a little bit of a pause. She's actually in 2 movies that we're discussing this week as well. Maybe you can guess that second one that will drop tomorrow. But she's not really headlining a lot. She's more, she's more like third or second or third from the top of the billing. Is this strategic? Is this what she's able to get? Is she, I think there's maybe a little bit of a strategy there in laying out her path, because she eventually will start movies. She will star. She will be. They will have characters based around her. Reason why I'm saying this is because she's so photogenic. It's almost like a waste her not headlining movies and being on the poster and being all over the trailers and having characters that just put her on screen for more time. I think, again, look, we live in the world of fantasy when we watch movies. We want that fantasy. Her appearance, a lot like a Brad Pitt, a lot like, what's his name? What's this? Hold up. What's the? I'm not forgetting. I'm not remembering anything today. Austin Butler. Austin Butler. That's the guy. Let Hollywood give us even the individuals that seem to be special effects. I think that's Zazie. I think that's Austin Butler for just two of the newer faces. I think this is a great movie. Anyone can get into it, but you have to be into violence. You have to be into martial arts, and you kind of have to be into occult movies. Great combination though. This is you can file this movie in multiple categories, which I love. All right, AKA There's nothing but a huge recommendation for They Will Kill You to 2026, available right now on HBO Max.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production, take 2.
Let's take this time real quick, AKA Padders, my fellow film buffers, and let's just go over the schedule. This is years in the making. This type of rollout I've been planning for years, but we're finally here. So here we go. Early in the morning, that's the new stuff. 8 a.m. Now, 8 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, these are movies maybe of something coming out. Like if there's a Marvel movie coming out and we want to do a retrospective on that particular franchise, or, if Sylvester Stallone comes back and gives us Rocky Part 18, we might want to use the later time slots for a week or two to go over all of the Rocky movies. Now, we have a lot of different threads on this podcast that's explored 8 p.m. So 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., this is our creator spotlight. We could do an episode on Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, some of the new guys, Spike Lee, even composers, guys like John Williams. This brings us into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday morning. Again, we're back at that 8 a.m. drop. We do cartoons because I want to emulate the times where you would wake up with a bowl of cereal and watch cartoons all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and then eventually you would get to touch grass because you would have one of your friends knocking on your door to play in a touch football game or even some baseball, basketball. The weekend nights, let's get into education. 8 p.m. Again, all of our drops are either 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. But the weekend nights, documentaries, and I focus on creative documentaries because I feel like a part of this film buff movement that we're all bathing in, that I'm super grateful for, is education. And some of where we're finding our facts, some of the, general enjoyment, because I love documentaries. All of this is explored at 8 o'clock p.m. And trust me, there's a lot there. There's a lot out there that I didn't even know existed. And we're going to go beyond that too. We're going to get into some of the graphic art, some of the special effects, some of the makeup documentaries. There's a lot to learn, and I'm so happy to bring you the 9 p.m. because, you guys know, I'm an autodidact. I am self-educated. Sure, I have some certifications. Sure, I spend time at the Art Institute of Philadelphia for animation. But in large, I'm a self-educated, self-made person that's connected to the weekend 8 p.m. drops. My AKA Padders, my film buffers, I hope to see you there for all of it. I love you guys, and rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap. Okay, that's a wrap.